Okay, we're going to go over some good ways to use a ball pre-surf. Now, in my Not Really Yoga system, the idea of using the ball coincides with some other strategies where we would do some release and activation techniques after the ball. But for the sake of just showing you some things with the ball that you can do in order to be able to be a bit more mobile when you're out in the water and get the right muscles to do the right things, I'm just going to show the ball things today. So the first one I'm going to use is, I've got a couple of balls in a little tote bag here. You could just put a couple of balls in the sock. And we're just going to go up and down along the spine from the top down to the bottom of the rib cage. So we're not going to go down here. I've just got the two balls. The spine's going to sit along the middle of these balls. And I'm just going to roll up and down here, just mobilising my back a little bit. So I start at the top between my shoulders. And first I'm just going to come up and down like this. The idea is to be able to commit your weight down and relax. Not to be holding a whole heap of tension. So for some people this can feel a little bit gnarly, but a lot of people like me quite like it. What we're going to do then is just come onto a spot and just move up and down. You might like to place something under your head so you don't stressing through your neck so much. Then just do half a turn of the ball and come up again. Maybe just 5 or 6 movements of the arms here. Now what you want to watch for is as you come over, you're not letting your ribs flare, which means we're taking the pressure off the ball. And just a couple of little roll up and down too. Okay, then I'm going to get one ball. Here I'm going to go follow my shoulder blade around. So I'm going to start at the top of my shoulder here. I'm going to come down to where the bony part starts to shut back in towards the spine. What we're going to do here is we're going to move the ball slowly around as we move the arm up and down. So I'm not going to do both shoulders here. I'm just going to do it so you can see what happens. So I'll pop the ball underneath the shoulder. This isn't on the bone, this is next to the shoulder blade. So the shoulder blade sits in one spot and the ball's kind of pushing the muscle in next to it. I'm just going to move to touch my thumb to the floor and my thumb to my opposite hip. I'm going to do 5 or 6 movements of the arm. I'm going to do the ball, move the ball half a roll down the inside of my shoulder blade. And this can be a great one for being able to be more up on the board, chest forward, more shoulders back, so that we're not paddling with our shoulders kind of rotated in and hunched up around our neck. Okay, so little turns of the ball moving down the shoulder blade. We'll just give a little bit of love to the other shoulder because it needs it now. So you will find if you do just one side of this, the other shoulder will feel quite weird. Give it a little half turn to full turn of the ball to move along the border of that shoulder blade. So to move down here, inside the shoulder, gets around here. Okay, next one I'm going to do is look at the chest here. We're going to go in front of the pec here. So this will kind of fit in the crook of the shoulder here. Now the other 2 techniques we've looked at have both involved kind of pressure, and the first one's almost like a bit of a joint manipulation. The second one is looking at where some of the muscles insert around that shoulder, and not necessarily insertion points, but just giving a bit of pressure to some of those muscles. This one now, we want to look more at the insertion of the muscle, give some pressure, and then we're going to do some cross-fibering across the muscle. So the fibers of these muscles come across here. We're going to pressure, and then we're going to go across these where these muscles insert. So the muscles going that way, we're going across this way. So what I'm going to do here is going to place my arm behind my back so the muscles will come on, stretch a little bit and make it easier for me to get the ball in there. And I'm just going to pop the ball in front of the shoulder in that little crook there. And what I will do here is probably just hang here for a minute or so. Sometimes popping the ball up on a book or something is better. It gives you more leverage to put some pressure into it. And then what I do is just some little movements up and down over the insertion points of those muscles, so we're going across those insertions. And then I'm going to just move in towards the centre of the chest a bit more. And now with pressure we're going to do a bit of active release. So we've got the pressure on the ball, arm comes out, rotates around, comes back in behind the back. So with that one, if you're starting here in a little crook of the shoulder here, if you've got quite an internally rotated shoulder, it's a bit easier to find that. If you don't, you're just going towards where you can feel that pec kind of come around to the shoulder. So we've got pressure here, we've got up and down, and then feel free to experiment with different parts around your chest here. Like a lot of people find I have little kind of tight spots that respond really well to the ball, particularly with that active release technique. Okay, next one we're going to go on to is look at the lats. Now every surfer I work with needs some release work around their lats. It doesn't just impede the ability to move the shoulders well, it also brings our back into hyperextension and is usually the reason I see a lot of surfers want to get lower back pain. So with this one, we're going to come under the armpit, and if you push your thumb back into the armpit here, you'll feel this kind of ropey bit. This is where the lat comes to insert underneath the back of the shoulder. So it's going to put the ball here, and again, we're just going to start with pressure. So I'd probably hang here again for a minute or so, just looking at the ability to relax into it. And then we're going to do some just small side-to-side movements. This lat is way tighter than I thought it would be. And then we're going to lift the elbow off the ground, drop the back of the hand to the ground. So the lat is an internal rotator of the shoulder, meaning once we bring it in here, we're moving the shoulder into external rotation. It's something that a lot of surfers, myself included, lack in. There's another spot just underneath we might go to as well. So just move the ball down a bit, and we're just going to work just on that external rotation. Okay, the last spot I want to look at is the QL, so all of the tissue around it anyway. So the hip bone is here, and the bottom of the ribs are here. We're kind of going in between. Now you certainly see, given, it depends a little bit on the type of surfing you do, I guess, but you will see a lot of inequality sometimes in these muscles, particularly with rotation and changes in the hip kind of position side to side. So it's one to work on with both sides, but you might find one side is particularly worse. So we're going to place the ball here. I'm just going to lift the knee up and down. So obviously there's other areas we could start to put the ball into, because it's on an individual basis, right? But these are the most common areas that I see with my surfers anyway, that kind of they need help in. And I'm going to commit my weight over to the right a little bit, so I get more weight into the ball. It's going to hang there. Another technique I really like here, you have to be skin on skin. The ball comes into this muscle, we twist it, just a little stretch here. Got the ball in here, and you have to, this is why I've got these balls designed really, it's not really yoga balls, it's because they actually allow us to grip the skin. So I push it in, grip the skin, and stretch away. It gives me a really nice release through all that tissue around that muscle. So usually what we would then do is follow that up with some release strategies and activation of opposing muscle groups. But for now, that's a really good way to start to use the not really yoga massage ball to free yourself up a bit pre-surf.